Here's a question. What do you think will the BRICS effects to Bitcoin be? So we saw last week a couple things happened where and I was wrong on this, and I should have admitted this earlier, but I was talking about the petrodollar and the agreement between the US and Saudi Arabia. Apparently there was nothing like official there. It wasn't an actual contract. It was more of just like a handshake agreement between the US and the Saudis. And so that ended. Now it's done. Petrodollar's done. And I also saw that Russia stopped accepting and transacting in US dollars. All their banks got rid of their US dollars. So the BRICS are now moving towards their own currencies. I think they're going to be using the Chinese yen for a while. But I agree with Odell in this, that I think that they're going to be using these currencies, but eventually we're going to end up in the same place because China, Russia, India, South Africa, they're not going to be able to trust each other. So they're going to go through this phase of leaving the US dollar, which is going to be good for Bitcoin. But then they're going to realize that they actually want to use their own currencies. And if you listen to one of the guys there at the BRICS meeting last week, he said that there was a clip of him and Putin, I think it was, and a few other people sitting around the table. But they were talking about the fact that they need their own currencies, and they need one currency that they can basically peg everything to. And he didn't say Bitcoin. But if you think about it, if you think about it far enough down the road here, all of these countries could continue having their own currency, and they back it with something like Bitcoin. So let's say that, you have the ability now. I don't know if I can bring this up or not here, but El Salvador has already done this. No, it's not on here. Shit. But El Salvador has already done this essentially. They've set up their own mempool where you can go and see how many Bitcoin that El Salvador has, how many they bought, all their transactions. And so you back your currency with Bitcoin. People can go and see how many Bitcoin you have. They have their own website. And then that's how their currency gets valued up and down. So depending on how many Bitcoin they have, how much they're producing in terms of their mining operations per year, that's when people hold or don't hold their currencies. So I think that that's where we're headed to. I agree with Emmett here. It'll fail for sure because they're still putting their trust in each other. And whenever you have the ability to corrupt, and whenever there's humans involved and they have the ability to influence things like this and manipulate it, it fails. It has forever and will continue to fail forever. So you need a currency that nobody controls, that's totally decentralized, that has a fixed amount that you can peg everything to, and that's Bitcoin. I agree with that. I think the BRICS will fail. Even with gold. Let's say that the BRICS nations back their currency with gold. Okay, so Russia says they have 500 tons of gold, and that's what they're backing their currency off of. Prove it. Prove it. If you have the option between investing in Russia, ruble, with their gold, their 500 tons of magical gold that they have, they probably do, but I don't know that. I'm not going to be watching a live stream of their gold vaults. Or you have El Salvador, who they say they have 5,000 Bitcoin, whatever it is. They say, okay, here's our website. This is our Bitcoin. Which one are you going to trust? The one in Bitcoin or the one with gold in their vaults? Canada has no gold. The US, I don't think, has any gold either. They say that there's a bunch in Fort Knox, but when was the last time that was audited? So even though backing your currency with gold would be much better than we have right now, it's still not going to work because there's still an element of trust there that's required for the governments that they're actually holding this gold. And that's not required with Bitcoin. So it's really just a matter of time. Keep that in mind. When things are hard, when people call you ridiculous, that's a compliment. You're in the right spot. Because if things were easy and nobody was calling you ridiculous, then the opportunity's gone.